So Mitt Romney is making the case for electability in Florida, saying that he is the candidate that can send President Obama packing next November. And new polls in the swing states just prove his point as he battles it out for the Republican nomination. Joining me now to talk about this more is MSNBC contributor Karen Hunter and Michael Steele, MSNBC analyst and former chair for the RNC. It's great to see both of you this morning. Michael, I want to start with you and get straight to these latest poll numbers we have from our NBC poll. President Obama showing here 49 to 41 amongst Florida voters right now. Is Mitt Romney basically closing that gap? You know, again, President Barack Obama being at 49%, Mitt Romney at 41%, and everybody talking about the fact that he can't break through a certain electability portion. But is he showing that he can?
Well, I think, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, why not? It's this week. Next week, it could be something different. That's the volatility of the time we're in. The Republican field is still unsettled. So any polls showing Romney in a head-to-head with Obama in January or February, it's kind of just fun and games. I think that you've got to do this thing in order here. Let's start with the fact that you have a three-way split for the first three states here in the Republican primary. You got a battleground here in Florida tomorrow, but then you've got a series of caucuses and primaries coming up in February. Super Tuesday, there's a lot more ground to be gained here. But in this moment, Romney has found the right chord. It struck with a lot of voters here in Florida, and so he gets the benefit of that particular bounce. But let's see what happens after that, because I think the base still has a lot more to say before this thing is over.
Karen, we keep hearing that the primary process is hurting the Republican candidates. But, voters being that it is with a short attention span, it may not do so badly in the long run, because we're seeing from a new USA Today Gallup poll showing that Mitt Romney and President Obama in a dead heat when it comes to 12 swing states, including Florida. So from the perspective of the White House, should that worry them as they see what's taking place as the run-up for the GOP primary nomination is vetted out?
Well, no, I think after the president's State of the Union address last week, it was really established that he has a plan for this country, and the Republicans, quite frankly, don't. I disagree with Mr. Steele, and I love where he is right now. The weather looks wonderful, but the base have spoken. They don't like Mitt Romney per se. They don't like Newt Gingrich. They don't like any of the candidates, and it's a reason why he hasn't broken through to the level that he needs to. They know him. He ran last time. He's no surprise here. So the fact that he hasn't risen above that 41% tells you that they don't really want him.
Time is still of the essence as the clock ticks down. And, Michael, the other side of this is that the process is really far from over in the long haul for Newt Gingrich. And I think he just began speaking at a rally that he was roughly an hour late for, taking place in Pensacola. We can show a shot of him and Callista there. But how much negativity, Michael, from Newt Gingrich can hurt the likability factor for Governor Romney? Or is it just the other way around? Can it really entrench people to like Governor Romney?
Well, I think likability is clearly one of those issues. Newt has a deficit there, but so does Romney to a certain degree in terms of where the voters are. I mean, they like him a little bit more than they like Newt. But I think, again, that's something that gets worked out in this process. I understand what Karen is saying about the State of the Union, which was a nice speech, but it didn't set any lofty agenda. It didn't set a goal. It didn't really clearly define the future for the American people. And I think that's what the summer battle is going to be about between the eventual Republican nominee and the president. But between now and then, you're going to have all these contests that are going to be skirmishes on likability and electability. And the base of the Republican Party, at least, I think still has a little bit more up its sleeve in terms of what it wants to say. Yeah, they may settle down and Romney may get that energy behind him and run through the summer and the convention. Okay. But right now, I think that there are a lot more things up in the air than settled. And I think that's good overall. It strengthens the nominee for the fight in the fall, and it gives people a chance to really kind of vet through some of these issues.
Karen, you're itching to get in there. Go ahead.
No, I just think that, we are settled. Mitt Romney is rich Uncle Pennybags from the Monopoly game, and that's settled.
Oh, please,
he's spending a lot of money in Florida, and it's hurting Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich has proven himself to have lunacy with this whole moon thing, and it's hurt him tremendously, and now Herm Cain. What I think is definitely silent in Florida right now is Jeb Bush. Who is he endorsing? Where's Jeb Bush in all of this? And I think that that's very interesting, because I think it sets up the table for something really interesting to happen.
Right. Michael, is Jeb Bush's silence deafening when it comes to this?
Oh, yeah, I think it is. I think for Jeb Bush, there are two considerations here. One is the idea that you come to Florida and you earn the support and the vote here, and you earn my endorsement.
Right.
And number two, I think he's looking longer term at his own political prospects, beyond 2012, and wants to make sure he doesn't cloudy or make that water murky for himself.
We shall see. Karen Hunter, Michael Steele, thanks to both of you. I appreciate your time this morning.